this is Kathleen, and I am back today in our beginner series. And we are at the decorating stage. And I'm excited today to show you how to use your stash to decorate a junk journal. So I pulled a bunch of stuff. There's about 12 different categories of stash items. And these things live in my studio in different places, but I wanted to show you how to use the stuff that you collect. These strange things that we all keep in drawers and files and boxes and bags. I have made, I think we're going to make 12 pockets or tucks, embellishment kinds of things for the journal. We're going to glue them in, and then the journal will be halfway decorated. I'm pretty excited about that. So let me show you this stuff first, and then I'll show you the elements and we'll put them in the journal. So we're going to work with vintage playing cards. I have a whole drawer. I often run into them. Sometimes they're expensive. It depends kind of, but this was only 25 cents for the whole packet. We all have envelopes galore. I have a whole drawer. We have things like time cards. These are new. They're not vintage, but I try to make them look vintage when I use them in my junk journals. I also love these little button cards. I think they make just perfect tags and other little embellishments. So I have a bunch of those that I have picked up at thrift stores. We all like using these old library card catalog cards. So we're going to do something with that. Here's another kind of large time card, and when I can, I try to do the coffee dyeing ahead of time so that things are ready when I'm ready to use them. There's paint chips. We like to use paint chips. These are some old recipe cards that I have collected, and sometimes I can find them. Different people will give me some, and sometimes I have to buy them because I like using them as ephemera, but today I'm going to show you how to make a pocket. And then I love vintage envelopes. Some of them sometimes have letters and others just the envelope, but it's the envelope that we're going to use today. Then I also collect old postcards, and you might wonder, how in the world can we use something like this? My friend Isabel gave me a bunch of old Alaska postcards from when they lived in Alaska, and I'm going to use one of those and show you how to make a really cute pocket. Isabel also gave me some old photos, and I myself have old photos, and you see them a lot of times in the thrift stores. Vintage ones are really nice, and I have a small collection of those, but these are just old, not vintage, and they still can be useful. And then these are a little collection of their receipt envelopes from an old planner. Some of them are written on, and I have a bunch of these. And then there's calendars. So calendars are really useful to us as well, and I'll show you what I've done with a calendar today. Okay. So let me put this aside, and now let me show you what I've made with these items. So I have gone through the journal, and I have put little post-it notes where I want to use these in this journal. Right now, all we have done is this one pocket. We're going to do this together. It is an altered envelope. I have done the collage on the one side, but I'm going to do a pocket on this side. And what else? Oh yeah, then the altered envelope. So we have two elements basically, but I have 10 to go in today. So that's going to get us almost halfway through decorating. So and I have reduced that and have made this receipt pocket, and I'm going to put this right here in the front. I want to do, because of the button, I want to do some element that would cover that up. So let me just glue this in. So that this video doesn't go too long, I will probably edit some of the gluing part out. And certainly some of the drying time. I will try to make this as short as possible because decorating with 10 pockets that's pretty good. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to do another video about ephemera that goes into the pockets. All right, the next one is, besides this, we'll come back and do this one together. This is a paint chip belly band. This is one of the ways that I like to use paint chips, is to emboss it and sand and distress it. Now you'll see that's not in the center. That's okay, because I'm kind of not a center girl. And maybe I will come back and put another little, I don't know, something like maybe that would look cute. I like that. Let's go to the next one. The next one is the catalog card, and I have made a top tuck with this, and it's just going to go here on the top. So I will glue around the top 3 sides. It'll be a little... Love it. I do. That's the way that would work. Yeah. Okay, the next one is the vintage letter envelope. So I took this vintage letter, and you can see this is kind of ragged on the back. So I need to do just a little bit of repair. I want to be able to have it be a double tuck this way. So I'm going to reinforce that just with this piece of old book page. So I'm going to glue this down. I'll be able to use it as a tuck. There we go. Now, when I glue this down, that's going to be reinforced there. So I just did a little napkin decoupage, and I'm going to glue it on these 2 sides, and then it can be a tuck behind and then a little hidden tuck here. Side. Yeah. Now remember, I said when we glue things in, if we can leave just a little bit of a margin over here next to the spine, then it will help the spine not to have pressure. The pages won't feel so much pressure. All right. The next one is the recipe. Yeah. And so what I've done is I've had to trim it just a little bit so that it wouldn't be too close to the spine. And I just have done a little bit of watercolor wash in the back, a little bit of a stamp, and this pretty bird sticker. So we're just going to make this into a patch pocket, 3 sides, easy, very simple. There we go. I like it. The colors kind of match that page. I mean, that looks good. Okay, now The next one is the postcard. So you remember that I told you I had a couple of postcards from Alaska. My favorite tool for junk journaling is just an ordinary piece of sandpaper, and I take the sandpaper and I sand the image just a little bit so that all I have left is kind of the colors in the background, and they become a little more obscured. And then I ran that through the embosser with these pretty butterflies and put a little die cut butterfly and a sticker butterfly, and I'm just going to make a simple edge tuck with this postcard. And sometimes, you know, it's fun just to use the back of the postcard too if you don't like the front. But isn't that pretty? I like that. It's the calendar tag tuck. Out of one of the pages, the calendar pages, I just made a simple tag shape, put a little ribbon here. So glue that in. And I glued just up to that point. And then we'll put that on there. But I think that looks really great. So then you can just put papers behind there, just like that. So the next item is one of the time cards. And what I like to do is make these little folded, I'm calling this a floating pocket. So that's just made out of one of these, and I just have folded it up and folded it back and put a little collar on it. And this just can go anywhere in the book and even move around. And you can just slip things in there, smaller ephemera. Yeah. And then, of course, this page flips out, so the clip that holds the floating pocket will also hold that page closed. Yeah, okay. Here's the next one, and this turned out so well. This is one of the things that I like to do with junk, is what I call intentional water damage. And so let me show you this other picture that has not been altered. This obviously is not a prime photo of the subject, but the colors match so beautifully with this journal. So what I did was I just simply sprayed it with some water, and then that creates that mottled effect in the background. It just kind of sinks the image into the background and then makes it look very impressionistic, and I really like that. And we're just going to put this again, just a little patch pocket here on this page, and then you just use that for ephemera. Yeah, love it. Okay, and here's our envelope. The next thing is a button card tuck or cluster. You know, it's just a little side tuck, and I've just taken this button card and put this little flower and a little ribbon through the top, and then I'm just going to put it here on the side toward the top, and then the ribbon will come out the top. Put it about right there. It allows me to tuck something in it like that. Perfect, don't you think? I love that. Okay, and finally, the last pre-made item that I have is this fun the weekly time chart or time card, I put just some vintage seam binding here through the holes, and now I've made a fold, a crease. So now I'm just going to glue this to the top and make a flip. And I can put it on one of the journaling pages because it's going to flip, and I don't need to worry about what I might be covering up. So, yeah. And I can decorate that further or just leave it for journaling. I think I'm just going to leave it, but then that just flips up and there's more journaling here on the back, and then all this journaling left. Okay, so there's all those things now in our journal, and it is probably about halfway decorated. I usually put between 8 and 10 pockets or tucks in a signature, and this has 3 signatures, so that means I need about 24 probably pockets that I will do in this journal. Okay, now let's go back here. I have one of the vintage playing cards, I have one of the vintage button cards, and then I just have this little, I think it's a Tim Holtz butterfly die cut. First of all, I want this side to flip out and be a flip. Okay, and now I want to, this is going to be a peekaboo pocket. I have a whole playlist on peekaboo pockets if you want to check that out, but you start with one side and then you do the other side, and one of the sides needs to have at least a partial bottom to kind of side. So we're going to put this right there. That's going to form the other side of the pocket and a partial bottom. Okay, now this is the way you make the peekaboo. I think that I'm going to first of all glue this doily onto here. Yeah, okay, and now I want to kind of make this go across there, so I just need to glue this corner down and then I need some glue on this corner also, but I don't want to glue in the middle. And I want to leave that open. If I take a piece of paper, then I can make sure I'm not gluing it to the book. And so that looks good. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing. So that means I need to put a little bit of glue just on this corner. And a little bit of glue right here. Let me put this, I'm going to put that down again. There. Yep, still moving, so I've done a good job. Okay, that's great. All right, now I need a little bit of ribbon. Make it crinkled. Okay, there's that. And here's our ephemera. So this is what I call a peekaboo pocket because it peeks out down here. Yeah. Love it. I hope you do too. That's how to decorate a junk journal with supplies from your stash. I hope that's been helpful, and I hope you'll join me again in the next video when we talk about making the ephemera to stuff in all the pockets. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you again with the next video.